Chris, thank you so much for coming out here today. We're at Astor Creek Country Club, Port St. Lucie, the first community that Kolter Homes has done, golf community from the ground up. As our architect, we appreciate you taking the time with us today and kind of helping folks understand a little bit of your vision and what they can expect in the future as we look to open up the course next year in 2023. So first and foremost, where did you take the inspiration for this Astor Creek course design?
Thanks, John. That's a really good question because I think there's really like several inspirations for a golf course like this. As far as like the design goes, I think the best golf courses that were built like in the 20s and the 30s, and they're all very strategic. They all have angles, and they ask a golfer to challenge that angle, but they also offer the less skilled player an option to hit away from that. The ultimate inspiration, one of the last two big renovation jobs that I did in Michigan, was designed by a golf course architect named Langford and Moreau. Their forms were very bold. They were one of the first architects to ever use steam shovels to build things. This was like before horses. So their forms were very bold, but they also had a lot of angles that they set up on the golf course, like from off the tee, the greens were at angles. And I feel like those golf courses are timeless. They continue to be good because of those, because of the fact that they're playable.
Well, hey, we're back in the 20s. So, history's repeating itself, so you're going to have another great traditional course built and opening in 2023.
Right.
So on that point, so you're taking, like you said, the inspiration from the past. Now here, obviously nothing was existing. So when you're starting a course from scratch, if you will, what's your first step? Pencil to paper, where do you go in your head to get started?
Yeah, the first step really is the goals. Like, what are my clients' goals? Like, what were Kolter Homes' goals? And so, to me, like, if we don't incorporate that into the overall project and the plan and the end result, then I feel like I've failed. So it's really understanding what the needs are. The needs here are to build homes, build this golf course to help sell the homes. We want to make sure that the homes sit back far enough, so they're not getting hit constantly. We want to bring a lot of value to each one of these lots with the golf course, but the goals are so important to make sure that we're, I don't want to create something that is not going to be playable, something that's not going to help sell lots, something that people aren't going to enjoy. So it's really important to.
Well, on that point, playability, obviously golf is a game. You have so many different levels that come out and enjoy. So in your approach and considering goals, where does that fit in as far as playability comes, and how do you design a course that all golfers are going to be able to enjoy of all skill levels?
Yeah, that's another really good question. To me, partly, I talked about it before, was like the scalability of the golf course. Like, can we have the scale being like that there's a long tee and there's a short tee, and every hole is set up that way where we have this varying, like we have a 7,000 yard tee or about 7,000 yards for the really expert type of golfer, but yet we also have like a 3,000 or 3,500 yard tee that's in the fairways for the beginners or people as they age that need to move forward. And to me, it's like very similar to a ski hill. We have black diamonds, which is the back tee, and we have the bunny hills, which are the short forward tees. So that's one way that we cater to the playability and all levels of golfers. The other part is the width, like having the proper width to play the game, to hit the ball, find it, and play it again, which we have, so the corridors are wide enough. And then the other playable part to me is angles. Like, if I can set up angles, I can challenge a good golfer, but allow a less skilled player to play away from that hard angle and still give them a shot to play away from in an open space. Their next shot may not be the best angle, but if they kind of just pick the points and play through the hole, it becomes playable because they're not always having to challenge those tough angles throughout the golf course. And then the other part is just variety. Like, I want to have every hole be different. I don't want it to ever look like a cookie cutter type of thing. So every green's going to be a different elevation, different orientation, ask for a different type of shot. To me, that's how we create really great golf courses with diversity and variety.
So picking up on that in terms of each hole being unique, what are some of the unique elements out here at Astor Creek Country Club that you're looking forward to see to come to life that perhaps you've never done before, or that just the terrain has allowed you to try something new with?
Right. One that I think is going to be really unique is hole number 16, which is going to be right along the entrance drive as you pull in on the right. And we have all the way from the tee all the way up to the green, and then it goes over to the 9th hole on the left-hand side of the entrance drive. We have a huge screening waste area. The best term is probably a waste area. It's like a bunker, but you can ground your club in it.
Gotcha.
And visually, it's going to be really cool because you're going to have that contrast to that material. We have landscape beds throughout it. So I'm really excited to see that come to life. The other part that I'm really excited to see come to life is the landscaping, because to me, we're out in the middle of this huge open field, and there's not really a lot of definition or framing. But once the landscaping comes in, if we put it in the right spots, it really brings these golf courses to life, or will bring this golf course to life, because we'll have the framing, we'll have the contrast of the grass and the landscape and the vertical element. And to me, that's when the golf course really like showcases, I guess.
So one of the areas that many times gets overlooked at a course, I think, is the practice facility. And I know that's an area you take particular pride in terms of your designs. Could you let folks know a little bit about here at Astor Creek Country Club, what they can look forward to as far as the practice facilities?
Yeah, it's I really like what we've created, or what we are going to create. We have about a 15-acre driving range. It's double-ended. We have a huge driving range tee that will have an artificial mat at the back. Big tee, target greens in the driving range. At the back end, there'll be a private teaching tee for lessons and things like that. In addition, right next to it, and I love the continuity or the connectiveness of it all, because right next to the range is the putting green and then the short game area, so it's all very close together where people can flow between those spaces. We have about a 3-acre short game complex. The short game complex, to me, is where we practice bunker shots, bump and run, chip shots, anything from like maybe 30, 40 yards into the green or around the perimeter of the green. We have 2 big greens within the short game complex, 3 or 4 bunkers, so that'll be really cool, space to use. The other nice thing about that space is that it's great for like juniors and kids who like to teach them the game. You could also set up like a little mini golf course within it. And then we have a pretty big putting green that will be right next to the clubhouse. So we have all these facilities that will cater to people, and they're large enough where we can support the people that'll be in this community at some point. But yeah, I'm really excited about the practice facilities.
Excellent. Well, Chris, appreciate you taking the time. I know you got a golf course to build here, so I'll let you get back to it. And thanks again for visiting. And then maybe in a couple months we'll get together and we'll be able to take a look at some of the holes here and give folks a preview as we start further our progress here.
All right, sounds good.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.